Hey, Uncle Frankie here. So this one is going to be probably really relevant for 80% of the people here. This will be the most interesting video of the series. And the reason is, 8 out of 10 times when somebody contacts me, this is the story I hear. We were doing so well one day. Google was sending us all these free customers, leads, and new business. And then one day it just turned off. And it's really, really frustrating and annoying when somebody like Google thinks they can just turn off your business. But unfortunately, we have to learn to react and deal with it. So I'm going to show you some simple tools that you can do to actually fix this and actually get your website back on track if this has been hit by you. And surprisingly, you're going to find out that this is actually really easy to do yourself. And so it's not going to be a huge challenge. So, okay. So firstly, what I want to show you is that really Google has more than one penalty. They're a whole bunch of different animals, quite literally, because the one's called panda, one's called penguin, and one's called hummingbird. And they all have their own different update status. And this is in addition to the normal stuff that Google does to find search. So the update periods are slower, even if you do remove a penalty. So I know this is kind of a little frustrating. Google sitting there building a zoo, it seems, to harm your business. Let me show you kind of how really the main things that they're looking for are, poor, thin, something we call spun content, which is when people automatically generate articles, using a piece of software, so it tends to be pure gibberish. The idea being that they could trick or sneak or fool Google because it's not really a person, and so how would it know proper English? Well, let me grab you a simple site that you may have heard of that has a whole lot of content. I'm going to grab this one called Wikipedia, which, by the way, I hate. So if your kids do research on Wikipedia, tell them not to. It's so bad. But enough of that Wikipedia rant. There's probably a lot of you that like it. So today's feature is we're looking on this guy, Chopin, who is a Polish composer. So what I want to do right now is show you Wikipedia is a very strong website. And so one of the things I want to show you is that if we actually click on the featured article for this person, we'll see that it has a title tag, which is Frederick Chopin. Sorry, the free Wikipedia. I'm going to actually open the where did it go? Sorry, I wanted to look at the source, so I can actually show you the title tag. Okay, so there's a whole lot of, this is what a website actually looks like behind the scenes if you've never seen one. It's a whole bunch of gibberish code. What I'm going to do is take the actual title and I'm going to search it in Google. So you can, in certain browsers, you can highlight and go search. So I wanted to show you that when I search the title, well, this is a website that's actually doing really well. So naturally, its own unique title, it should rank very highly for it, right? And the same thing is true if we just highlight some content that's on the page. So I'm just going to grab something I'm going to highlight some words that are already on this website. I'm going to right-click and I'm going to search. And eventually, when my slow internet finishes, you'll see that Google matches this right away. Well, when you have a bad link, regardless of how you feel about it personally, Google is an algorithm, not a person. What will happen is it will not show up for its own title. It will not show up for its own content. And so this is how you can actually check manually and see whether Google is punishing a site. So what you're going to want to do is if it fails both of those tests and the site is like not indexed, or even worse, the site has a penalty, either way it's probably not doing a lot for you and you're going to want to delete it. So obviously this is a huge amount of work, and I'm going to show you quickly just how to do it manually, and then I'm going to show you some automated tools to kind of shortcut the process. So these are two backlink tools you can use, and they have small kind of free trials that you can use to check out what your site's backlink profile looks like. So you can put in any sort of website and put it in here and try for free. And just for humor's sake, I'm going to put in our website, and I don't think this particular website has a ton of backlinks because we use a lot of other things ranking. So it shows you that we've got this many backlinks pointing to it, and so it'll show you how they've been over time, etc. And you can actually get a list of the inbound links and see where they're coming from. and then you can do this search manually on each of those links. And then so the two tools are A Ahrefs, which is just kind of internet, that's the code for linking, so ahrefs.com. And then the other one is Majestic SEO, which is now just shortened to majestic.com, and you can search and you can do all this stuff manually to kind of see what's going on. Well, the good news is no need to get, to fret over this, because there's a whole lot of automated tools to do this. Well, there's really two that I use personally, and one is called Linquidator. And what you do is you can stick it in and it'll do an analysis on all the bad links of your website. And then there's another one from Kemper Tools called linkresearchtools.com. And they're the more expensive of the two. And the Linquidator also allows you to do your first 1,000 links for free, and for most local businesses that will be enough. So you won't even need to pay them at all. They have the free trial. You get 1,000 links, and you can just cancel before the free trial is expired, because you're not going to need to do this continually. So what will happen is it'll take your website, it'll scan all the backlink sources that it can find, and then it'll run an analysis similar to the one I just showed you, and then check out which links are harming you and sort of punishing you in Google's eyes and causing your competitors to steal all your business. So what do you do with that data once you know which links are harming you? Well, there's really two things you can do. The first one is remove them manually. I wouldn't suggest it, but you can. Depends on how technically oriented you are. The second, much more likely scenario is that I want you to go to google.com/webmasters, and what that will do is you'll get into Google Webmaster Tools. So what you can do when you're inside there is Google has something called the Google Disavow tool, and it basically tells your website, hey, I don't want my website to be associated with these tools. So you'll have to verify your website first, which Google has a couple different ways for you to do that. But once you do, you can go ahead and add in all the backlinks that you either got from Linquidator or Link Research Tools, and go ahead and do this manually and just add that list, and Google will find those links for you, update them, and eventually remove them. So usually it takes 2 to 3 months to work, because Google is really slow with these additional filters. But the result is you'll get your website ranking back, and so you'll drop that sort of frustrating situation. Now, this won't work every time. 9 times out of 10, these tools will work, but 1 time out of 10 it won't. In that case, what I would suggest you do is hire somebody to go through them manually using the suggestions I've done. There's a lot of different ways online. You can hire a virtual assistant like freelancer.com or Odesk. And so these places, what they'll do is you can have somebody go through and actually clean up your stuff for you. And then the third possibility is if your site's been really badly hit, somebody really spammed it, whether it was a competitor or your own SEO person, it really doesn't matter. Sometimes it's just easier to start a new website. I know it's kind of frustrating, but it's a whole lot less headaches and aggravation than actually trying to remove one from something Google doesn't want to cooperate with. So that's kind of the gist of how you remove a penalty and actually get your website back. So I hope that was really helpful. And what I would tell you that the best way to actually prevent it is to keep track of everything you're doing. Save all your work. If you're doing all your own SEO, save it into a spreadsheet. That way, if anything changes, over time, Google's an algorithm, not a person. So if they get mad at your work, just go through and change what's necessary. So I hope this was really helpful. Don't forget, if you're interested in our SEO services, check the link below. I've got a really fantastic offer for you. So Frankie over and out. I'll see you in the next video. We're going to actually get to the fun stuff, where I'm going to show you how to turn your website into a sales machine, which is, beyond what most SEO companies are going to show you.